All right.
Stop talking, Chris, and listen.
That is a lesson
for you and me.
I think I have made a real breakthrough in that personally in the last year.
I was still talking, buddy. Yeah. Did
I don't know when, but I love talking, obviously, but I have gotten very good at listening.
Seeing how long you could go and let the silence sit without talking. You passed. You're right, buddy. Yeah, and it's a thing too. I tend to, for years, I tended to almost narcissistize things, and only for the sake of interesting conversations. This was Blurter, of course, the ego state.
Yeah.
So somebody would talk about, I was in Spain once, and I'd be saying, oh yeah, I went out with this Spanish girl once, and I start telling a story about her. But I've moved off from their story now.
Yeah, you've hijacked the story to talk about yourself.
I'm trying to bring something of interest to the conversation.
That's it.
But it's self-reference.
The
isn't always the way to go.
intention is to build rapport. The unconscious intention is not, hi, I want to talk about myself. It's to feel like the other person. Oh, I'm like you, therefore we're friends. We can get along.
Yeah,
I'm telling you
talk about similar stuff.
But it's so easy for people to hijack the story, accidentally start talking about themselves.
Oh, I know.
And not realizing they're actually hurting the rapport because the guy wanted to finish his story.
Totally. And you know what? Interesting about that. Serious, I'm not dicking around here. I can think of an example that really caught my attention. It was a guy up at our cottage, him and his wife, very nice couple. But I just realized that anything in our discussion, if I talked to him for 2 hours, nothing I said did he ever pick up on. It always sent him in a direction about himself. Oh, he never commented, not even, oh, that's interesting. And I thought, I must sound like that to other people.
I have a friend of my
You're
family.
supposed to say, no, Mike, you're
that's
not
like that. It's so annoying.
You're talking about me?
I just did it, but I get it. I get it.
What did I scare you?
You can spend 2 hours talking to a person.
Yeah.
And every single time you're thinking you're going to contribute something interesting, you get interrupted and it's turned back to
and you can't
about
finish your
them.
story. So you get a Zygarnik loop. And I want it to end so I can say, Daddy sang bass. It's over.
Yeah. Well, a way to get around the talking about yourself is to ask it as a question. And so I'll do it like this. I'd say, so Mike, do you ever find that you just realize that this is not a serious person you can have a conversation with, so instead you enjoy their company because they're very funny and you just appreciate the comedy routine and listen to them and have a good time?
No, but that can be wearing too.
Oh, for
I had
sure.
a friend, Bruce, many years ago, nice guy, real nice guy, but he was incapable of not doing endless one-liners. So sometimes they were funny, sometimes they weren't. But you try to have a serious conversation, you just throw in the one-liners like all the freaking time to the point it's toxic.
Would you be tempted to throw like pattern interrupts at this when he
No, I
drops
wanted
the
to drive
one-liner?
my thumbs into his eye sockets and peel his ears off.
What do you think would happen if the one-liners come out and you start overreacting? You know when you act over, it's like, So keep going.
That's brilliant.
And then you just go absurdly off the rails.
Or just, go ahead, you're enjoying yourself.
Yes, there's that
That's one of
too.
my favorites, Stephen Potter. Okay, make a game out of drawing people out. Remember I said stop talking and listen? One of the best communicators I know, and I'm serious, is Al Pierce, Lisa's husband. Al is one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. He has really deep conversations with people because he makes eye contact, he listens, and he asks them questions.
Yes.
And that's it. And people are glad to answer. He unpacks conversations. It's very
Asking
nice.
questions, in my opinion, is a lot better than turning it into a story about you being similar. You can start it that way, but turn it back to a question.
Yeah, you're
to
going
hand
like
the
this.
conversation
Asking
over.
questions, in my mind, is similar to you talking about asking questions, but really turning it back in your mind. So we're talking about you again. You're a freaking narcissist.
There we go. Oh
Right,
man!
look,
So stop and listen.
Ask some open-ended questions. But do you like Toronto? Yeah. Ask some open-ended questions, but don't pry. You don't want to say, "Hey, how's that sex life of yours working out?" Yeah, I mean, really, some people we're back to the border again.
Yes.
Borders, and then we're back to the thermometer soon.
Can we get back to talking?
We're trying to talk to the microphone, but don't make everything about you or me.
Yes.
Comment when they respond about their content, not about what it reminds you of.
Not about how it connects to you.
Right, what it reminds you of in a story, right? And how it connects to you. And when the conversation ends, listen to this, guys. Ask yourself, what did I just learn?
Ooh.
If you don't ask that, even if do it occasionally, just unconsciously build the process. If you don't ask it, you're missing gold information from other people. You might have learned something like, oh, he really doesn't like to be bothered in the evenings. Oh, okay, so I'll stop phoning him at 11 o'clock.
I wonder who you're talking about. I know it isn't me.
Well, I'm going to tell you who it is. Jedi Iscariot. No, I'm not going to tell you. So
it is not requiring a statement. It's so obvious.
now.